Alright guys, we're going to do a quick video on why we tune our 2-blade broadheads the way that we do. And then we're going to do a quick quiver install. Stay tuned guys. Alright, if you guys follow the channel, you know we just got back from a wild boar hunt. I use this bow. This is a 47-pound big stick gremlin. It's 56-inch. 2-piece, comes apart in the center. We are going to change this hood. I used the new hood, the new quiver on our boar hunt. I did an install video there, but the quality sucked, so I didn't release it. So here we are doing this one. I'm going to do it all over again. I'm going to show you how and why we tune our arrows, our broadheads, the way that we do. And I'm just going to do a quick install on the quiver. So here we go. So new this year is the quiver I use on that boar hunt. It's a 2-tone, 2-blade, just like that. So it's not a solid hood anymore. It's 2-tone. It's an option, just another option for you guys. It's exactly the same quiver. This particular one has our +1 option on the back. Right, here's your 4 and here's your extra one on the back. So this is how you get it. You get it bubble wrapped in a case. And then we're just going to install that. But also new this year, we have a 6-arrow. Here's our 6-arrow with predetermined holes. So you have plenty of fletching clearance in the bottom end. We like to do this because many reasons. When you get a hood that's just straight up plain Jane foam, and you start ramming broadheads in there, a lot of guys don't care where they shove their broadheads, and it looks like crap on the bottom end. I don't want that. I don't want my quiver to look like crap when somebody gets it because they butchered the hood inside, like the foam, and their feathers are all a mess, and it's not appealing to me. I wouldn't want that. I don't want to give you guys that, so I'm leaving it. I'm taking all the stress of you putting your arrows in. I'm taking it all, putting it in the hood. So that's that. That's the same price point as our 8. 6 and 8s. They take the same amount of time to make. So it's all, we pour everything. We pour the rubber. We pour the foam. We pour everything. So now getting back to the quick install here. Again, this is how you get everything like this. Everything's kind of finger tight. New this year, we come out with a lock nut. So you get a lock nut that goes on here. Couldn't get them in the past, but we got them now, so that's a good thing. So what we're going to do is when you put your quiver on your bow, you want to, here, I'll show you. You want to, here's your riser and here's a fade out. This is called a fade out for you guys that don't understand risers and stuff like that. This part here is working limb. This here is working limb as well. So you don't want to put your quiver attachment anywhere on the working limb. I've seen lots of guys in lots of videos where they've got their slide on way out here because they want to hold the arrows further apart to make it more stable, but they're actually on working limb. So when they shoot, they're actually just vibrating. It's going to slide further apart. So these short risered bows like this, our quivers are perfect for it because you got the brackets and it's completely adjustable. Whether it's a tall riser or a short riser, it can go on whatever, 3-piece takedown. This is a 2-piece takedown. So what you want to do is you want to have this thing roughly where you want to set it. So normally I'd put these on and then set it up, but it's all kind of already set up for me, so I'm just going to save you guys some time watching me do that. So I'm just going to put these on roughly where I want to have them. You know, not going to crank them tight because I'm going to have to readjust them anyway. So I want to not, again, I don't want to be on any working part of the limb. I want to be, if there's your fade out, you can see the fade out right there. You want to have at least 1/2 inch of fade out or more so that you're not on any working part of that limb. All right, and just tighten it up. I'm going to adjust on the quiver body first, get that snug. Just snug, not tight. There, so it's a little bit more snug, right? So it's a little bit more solid. And I'm just trying to line up. And you don't want to crank this tight and then heave it all around, because you're just going to wreck the powder coating. What happens is we have this this lock washer. It's an external flange lock washer, and that bites right into in between these two. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you got one in between, and when you suck this sucker down, it bites into the paint and making it rock solid. So that's one thing that a lot of guys are saying about our quivers, is they're rock solid. So I'm just going to crank this guy tight. This is where I want it. Alright, that's tight, and that's parallel with our string. That's what we wanted, right? Shouldn't move. So now that's rock solid, right? So you consider that solid. I'll show you just how solid that is. It is solid. So I'm going to hang a 10-pound weight off of it, just to show you how solid that is. Nothing crazy. Not going to go jumping around, but let me know if you can do this to your quiver. Hang it on where you attach your quiver to, and hang it. Well, can you do that with your quiver? Right there. Can you see that? Right there. And nothing moved, nothing budged. Because once this bites in, once those bite in and it's rock solid, it is not going anywhere. It's solid. You could crank it sideways because you're just relying on Velcro, but up and down, that's rock solid. So now I'm going to put some broadheads in it. So what I like to do is, this is the broadhead part of our little video here. What I like to do is have, when I'm shooting my 2-blade broadheads, I like to have the broadhead flat, and I have a cock feather up. How I shoot is, I'll shoot, instead of a cock feather out, I'll have cock feather up. And the reason for that is, this is my riser. I've got this feather going in the groove of my riser. If I get any contact, if I go cock feather out, let's say this one's my cock feather, and I get collision, I'm going to get collision on here. Whereas if I have it sideways, it goes in right into the groove of that shelf, right? So this is basically how I shoot. If I have cock feather out, it's like this. I'm getting collision on 2 spots, so I go cock feather up, and if I'm going to get collision, the feather's going to go right in that groove, so it's not going to really affect anything. Another reason I shoot 3 all the same color is from our target days. When you're shooting and you're shooting a good group, everything's in line. You got a good group going like this, and then you have one flyer. And you shoot a good group and you get another flyer going the other way. Another good group, get the flyer. And it's always that same stupid arrow. So all we do is we would just turn it like this and make a whole new cock feather. And it's not in your brain, oh, my cock feather's up now, not sideways. It's not messing with your head, but it changes the spine of that arrow, because every arrow's not perfect, right? Easton's really good. Back in the day, they're way different. The tolerances are way tighter now, so I don't notice a difference. Sometimes you'll have one flying goofy, but then I'll give it a twist, and then it flies good. So that's a little trick there. But they're all the same color because of that. If I want to tune my arrow, right after it's fletched, I'll just turn my knock and it's done. So anyway, the reason I have my arrow, my broadhead flat like that, and my cock feather up, is so when I shoot, if I'm shooting, your spine of your arrow is never perfect. Like you short draw, 1/4 inch, clickers and all that fun stuff help, but they're not bulletproof, because if you go hunting, you might get excited, short draw, it's not going to click, blah, blah, blah. We're not all perfect shots. So if you get excited and you short draw, now you just eliminated 2 inches of stroke or 1/2 inch of stroke. It's amazing what 1/2 inch will do. It'll stiffen your arrow right up. So having said that, if you stiffen your arrow and I shoot and I short draw, and now it's a stiff arrow, it's going to come off, it's going to flex and go left. It's going to go left for a right-handed shot. So when I'm shooting and I short draw, it's going to go left. If I crank it too far back, it's going to go right. It's going to come out weak. All right, so your spine is left and right. Your knocking point is up and down. If your arrow's doing this, up and down, like your arrow's going to wobble like this, they call that a wobble. That's your nocking point is off a little bit. You're either getting collision or it's just coming off too high. If it comes off too high, it's going to wobble. If it comes off too low, it's going to hit, get collision, and then it's going to wobble. But spine is left and right. That's why my broadhead is side to side. So when I have my arrow flat like this, the broadhead flat, when that arrow flexes off of your bow, it's not, the front end is just slicing through the wind. If I go this way and I shoot and it flexes, it's going to catch the wind and just, it's going to be off this far, let's say. It's not going to be very much, but that's a lot. Like if you're shooting at 15 yards, you shouldn't be off this far. It happens, but I'm just saying you shouldn't be. So if I'm shooting like this and I short draw because I'm excited, my arrow's going to flex and do this, but it's just going to cut through the air and then go straight. Whereas if it's this way, it's going to come off, catch the wind, and readjust, and then go straight. So it's going to be off just a little bit. Again, opinions vary. This is my opinion. Take it or leave it. But I know that that's happened to me in the past, and that's why I started paying attention to my broadhead. Another thing some guys may not know is on your nock, there's a little, it's called a cock indicator, right? There's a little tab. One side has a little button on it. That is for nocking your arrow without looking. So if you set it up so they're always on your thumb, when you nock your arrow, you don't even have to look and see what cock feather's up or out or sideways or whatever. You just grab it, you can feel that, and you nock your arrow, and then away you go. So it's really good for those guys that miss a lot. They shoot, they grab another arrow, they keep looking at the animal, they can nock it without even looking at the arrow to see if it's doing it the right way. They just feel that and not that cock indicator. So some people don't know that, lots of you do. Not a big deal. Anyway, that's why I have my broadhead sideways in my, when I'm hunting, right? And I glue my broadheads in. I don't just screw them in and heat them up and turn them. I'll glue it, and I'll get that much glue on my insert and my little ½ inch of ferrule on my broadhead. So I got that much glue holding my broadhead in, because I always practice with broadhead, and nothing worse than pulling out broadheads, pulling out arrows out of targets, and having your arrow broadhead still inside the target. That sucks. So I said enough is enough, and I started gluing everything in. Haven't had a problem since. So having said that, when you're putting your when you're putting your arrows in your hood, so you got one up, one down, right? One up, one down, one up, one down. So this one goes up, so my cock feather's gonna be up. Okay? And I'll just do it quick here. This guy's on the bottom, so cock feather is gonna go down. And again, my cock feather is the same color, so this is just for demonstration purposes to show you guys. Right? So I'm up, cock up. And these quivers have two grooves for arrows. One's for a 5/16 aluminum, or like 11/32 wood. Minor adjustments for the wood, and this one is for, it's got a smaller groove for a carbon arrow. This one's our standard. It works on axis and stuff like that. All your basic standard carbon arrows. If you're shooting a micro, some of those crazy micro small ones, we would adjust that. So anyway, when you're putting your broadheads in, what I'll do is I'll take one sharp broadhead and just blast all the holes in. Nothing too crazy, you know. And these can all go in further. This is a single bevel, and it's actually twisting in my hood right now, so causing me a little bit of grief. But that's it right there. So I know that camera's on focus, so you can't see it. Anyway, that's what it is. I like the new hood. I didn't like it to start with, but I really like it now. It's kind of growing on me. It matches my bow. Super slick. So yeah, if you guys want to reach out or anything like that, hit me up on our contact page on our website. Follow us on Instagram. Check us out on Instagram, Gunshy Archery there. And we also have Trad Life TV. That's just videos and stuff like that. So yeah, super fun, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. If you have any tuning issues with what I'm saying here, if I'm talking on my ass or whatever, you just let me know in the comments. I'm sure you will. Yeah, but anyway, this stuff works for me. If it doesn't work for you, let me know. If it works for you, let me know. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us, and check out that other check out my latest wild boar hunt. It was pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Thanks for watching, guys.